Good morning, friends, and welcome home. We are on week 10 or 11 for my challenge students, for my older kids, and I am giving an update of where we're at. It's obviously frosty, cold morning here. Beautiful, and my rooster is very happy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the extra things that we experience within homeschooling. So obviously, we have the academic side. That's the easiest probably to measure or to see where we're at, to draw comparison, to assess. But then you have the other side of things, which is character building and shaping your child into who you want them to become. And those sort of things. And this week, we ran into some challenges that I'm just trying to help my older two walk through. So every year, we have someone that I'm worried about. I think that's normal. This year it is not my older two. It's my son that I'm a little bit more concerned about than the other two, just making sure that he develops into who he's supposed to be. But my older two, in the years past, actually last year, Natalie was my concern of just being a little bit more recluse and drawn back. And then this year, because of debate last year, she really pulled out of it. It was an opportunity to give her a voice, an opportunity to help her speak about who she is and what she actually thinks, because before she allowed Brooke to speak for her, and often, even if she didn't share the same opinion, she would just hold her opinion back and she wouldn't share it. And it kind of got to the point where I was concerned because of her just not being able to feel comfortable in her own skin. I felt like that's how I would put it. I don't know. She just was very withdrawn, even from the family. This is pre joining debate. So last year, joining debate really forced her to speak, and she did it because she wanted to be with her friends, of course. But it forced her to have a voice, and because of that, I really saw her blossom and develop in sharing her opinions and obviously speaking overall. I mean, you can't help that improve in that when you're doing it so frequently, but just being able to share about what she thinks was a big deal to me, because I want her to be able to be comfortable with who she is and what she thinks, and if her opinion is challenged, which all of our opinions should be challenged, that she would feel comfortable with that. So fast forward to this year. They are starting debate in CC, and they've just felt challenged, not all in a bad way, I would say, just challenged. How much do they participate? How much are they like trying to find that balance of like, I want to be helpful, but I don't want to step on people's toes. I want to share, but I don't want them to feel like I'm a know-it-all. And like, they've been honing in their skills of reading situations, which is an interesting, I didn't think I would add that to our homeschool repertoire, but here it is. And I think it's actually a positive thing that they've had to experience that, and in some ways endure things that they feel are a challenge, which I think everybody experiences that in one form or another. Anyway, so they did their first round of debate this last week, and I thought she did just fine. Like, I sat in and listened. I knew her argument. She chose to take a risk and do an argument on economics because she, knowing the facts about economics, she felt that she could challenge and that it wouldn't, her opponent would not have a good argument. And he did. And that happens. And it happens all the time. I've seen and judged multiple times when that is the case. So coming out of that, I don't think she felt discouraged. She felt like she did okay. But then, there's like talk, and someone in her class said, "Oh, I thought Natalie would be better than that. I thought I thought she was better than what I saw, or whatever." And helping her walk through that, I would say, has been our interesting conversation this week and our growth moment, because obviously trying to work through, like, I don't know that her feelings are super hurt, but I think that she just feels a little, I I don't know, that people don't have her back type of feeling. And if you're watching this from CC, because that's half of my friends right now, that's she's not angry at anybody or any situation, but just working through like feeling like she's like how do I respond to this? Like I don't like that somebody said that, obviously, that sort of thing. And I just think about Colossians. I've been pondering this a ton. In Colossians 3:23, it says to work diligently with all your heart for the Lord, because in him you're going to receive your inheritance. And I just feel like if we don't have opportunity where things are challenging, where we don't feel like the favored person, there's not one set situation for me that I would say, okay, this has totally defined who I am. It's defined my whole life and going forward, but I'm an adult. And so helping my kids, my response is like, well, who cares? And I said that, but I recognize that that is coming from a place that I understand. It's like, this is not a defining moment for you. We're going to work with all our hearts. However, I recognize for them, they don't understand what I mean by who cares, because they do care. They care deeply because they're giving their best and trying to walk that balance line of not being too overly aggressive when they were debating or whatever. I mean, this is just one example, right? But for her, it's the recent example, not wanting to be too aggressive, however, also wanting to do your best. And so I think like just helping her to process through that is important, because the truth is we're working with all our hearts for the Lord. If we don't choose a moment in time, or don't have a moment in time where we have to apply that principle, then we will not apply that principle. If we don't say, okay, I don't like how this outcome was, but I did it my best of my ability, and it has to be okay because this is what the word says. The word says that I'm doing it diligently for him, and my reward is my inheritance. We don't know what debate is going to lead to for her. Obviously, I don't think she's going to be a lawyer, but her ability to speak and express her mind on matters will affect her future. And so it's been a huge blessing and a huge benefit, along with all of the research skills and the filing and organizing your materials, etc., that they have gained from debate. But I think the ability to speak about opinions and be educated in your speaking, and to be able to share your opinion and not trample others' opinions is so needed right now. And so I feel like those skills will be tremendous. But above that, we have to have that mindset that it doesn't matter what people think. Not that we are still always caring for people, right? We're always caring for their heart and not trying to offend, but still do it with truth and love, right? And so right in this circumstance we are facing currently, we are, and I would say this is their hearts are the same, both of the girls, and part of that is because they're twins, and so they feel for each other as they would for themselves. But in addition, I think they're both have been walking the same line of trying to not be, trying to be humble, trying to be encouraging, trying to help others. But I would say that this is the moment, or a moment, that they experience working diligently just for the Lord, not for accolades, not for what others think, not for their grade or for mom to be happy, but just to work for the Lord and know that what I've done is enough, and what I am have committed to, the Lord approves of, because I've done it diligently. I've worked hard. I've given my best. I've tried to do this balancing act, which would be difficult for anyone, like adults included. That's always an interesting situation, right? When you're trying to balance doing something well, but holding back, and not trying to be aggressive, or definitely trying, like they don't want to be prideful in what they're doing. So that's a thing. But this is her time. This is their time to learn that. And so, having thought through that this morning, that is the conversation we'll be having. Now that I'm able to put it into different words, that the goal is that we're able to work diligently and just lay it all out, right? Leave it on the table, and just walk away and say, okay, this was my best here, and I'm going to be okay with that. I just hope that This is a monumental moment for them where they say, okay, it doesn't matter, because it's so easy to care about what others think. It's so easy to worry about those around you. But as I was saying earlier, not one moment has ever defined me as a person. In fact, it's like a multitude of moments when I realized that having grace for myself, because not any of those moments mattered, but the diversity and the challenge against who I am helped me grow as a person. That's what we want, right? We want to continually grow. We don't want to stop. Even when you're an adult, you're always learning, you're always growing. And so I don't want my kids I'm raising to be adults, right? I don't want them to ever think that, okay, we've checked all the boxes and we're done. So I hope that that's an encouragement to you. It's not an academic encouragement, but we are doing fine, plugging along in academics. But just keep going, keep persevering, even when things are hard. There's never going to be a time when you get to the other side of persevering through a difficult subject or a difficult relationship or a difficult time and say, I regret persevering. That's not a thing. You will grow in it. It will be a challenge. You might say, I'm glad that season was over. That was hard. But you will never say, I regret being perseverant. It's a fruit of the Spirit. So anyway, I hope that encourages you. I hope that you are having a great week as we near the Thanksgiving holiday, and blessings until next time. Bye.